Welcome to Cadenza, the place for alternative rock bands.
We have a very special guest in studio. We have Corey Harper and Tony Oni in studio. Award-winning saxophonist, composer, and educator Alex On. So, according to your Twitter, you like guacamole and hate the dentist. Can you tell us more about that?
Now, here's your host, Catherine Barner.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Cadenza, the best place for alternative and indie musicians. Artists such as Milky Chance and smaller artists just like Samadams join me on this channel. So today I'm at Modest Music Fest and I'm joined by you guys for a second time. Woo-hoo. It's been a year since we last talked.
Give us a woohoo.
Woohoo.
So this is your second time playing Modest Music Fest?
Yes.
No, it's our third.
Oh, third, yeah.
Third? So you've played all 3 years?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool.
Can't stop coming back.
What's your favorite part about a Modest Music Fest?
I like how everything's so close and how there's, it does feel like there's a bit of just grassroots music making that's happening. And Moscow seems to be a place that has a younger music scene that's really excited about music. I like seeing young people out listening to music and meeting other bands. I think the community here is great.
Yeah, we're in the green room right now, hanging out with some other bands right now, and it's kind of cool. It's cool to sort of brush elbows with people that you'll probably see again in the near future, and it just reminds you that the music scene in the area is just kind of like one big small town. Yeah. So it's kind of nice.
So what has changed since we last talked?
We have a new drummer.
Uh-huh.
His name is Micah. He is not here right now. He's out in the cold, just walking around, looking for food or something.
Too cold to be walking around. It's like 30 degrees and it snowed last night.
Well, he's hardy stock. He's from Phoenix. They're used to the cold there. That's a joke.
Yeah.
Anyway, but he's been a fantastic addition to the Sama fam, and he's got a great he's a jazz player, and that gets me really excited.
Yeah, especially because you guys play very much like on the offbeat.
Yeah, it lends itself pretty well, and he's got a great work ethic that I am inspired by, and I've tried to emulate that myself, just practicing more, and it's really cool.
Yeah, we just released a new single. It's called Principle of Loving, and we recorded that and another track last fall, so it's just finally coming out. And there's a music video that goes along with it. So the whole process of releasing that and working with the director of the film and planning release and a little bit of a tour around it has been a lot of work, and it's nice to have it here.
So speaking of that single, how is it different or the same to what you've released in the past?
It still preserves the same instrumentation that we've had, and we recorded it in the same process that we normally have in the past. I think the song is it's a little bit more relaxed than some of our other tunes have been, and it's really a song that's a kind of it's asking right now in our particular moment for people to really think about how they're treating each other, and I think it comes with maybe more of a direct message than we've had in the past. And yeah, it feels confident and kind of a direction that we're excited about going musically, kind of walking down that path a little bit more. And I think having Micah in the band has been obviously different from playing with Chris, but Micah is he's a groove drummer, so he tends to think about things in particular
grids,
following a metronome, and playing against that has been really interesting, and I think it's bringing out something different in the way that we're writing our songs and collaborating with him.
I think the song it's got a gentle kind of exterior to it, which I like quite a bit, and there's still kind of like a kind of uncompromised message at the core of it, but yeah, I feel like the door's a little wider, open a little wider, for more people to get into it. My mom likes it a lot.
That's always like the number one approval if your
Yeah.
mom likes it. So something I noticed on your guys' social media account after I first interviewed you guys last year is the burning of pianos.
Yeah,
Can you tell us about that?
yeah. I work at a piano restoration shop in the mornings, and we refinish pianos. Kind of take old pianos and bring them back. And some pianos just aren't.
Salvageable.
They're not. Yeah, they can't be brought back. So they end up on the burn pile. And I think we had 3 in the pile this last summer. We already have 3 just waiting for for the next burn season. Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's out in the country and it's mostly safe.
Got a couple fire extinguishers there just in case.
The fire got pretty big. It was like 3 stories high,
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
and it was not safe.
It was a little
But-
nerve-wracking.
But it's not like there's a lot around there that could burn, like other than grass. And if the grass is wet, which we had been watering the grass all day, and so
So
yeah, the risk was there, and we had to you couldn't really be closer than 50 feet to the fire
Yeah.
without getting burned. But it was just too hot. But
Wow.
it was really
Losing
fun.
your eyebrows.
Yeah, you could definitely get singed a bit and get sunburned from it.
So what is left of the pianos after you burn them? Is there anything left of them, or is it just
Yeah.
ash?
It's all the metal.
Okay, how much metal is in a piano then?
A good amount. The outside's wood, but then there's something called a plate on the inside, which is all cast iron, and that's what really embraces the tension of the strings, which is immense. And the strings are also left over. They're all metal. They're steel and brass wound. So, yeah, it's fun. It's fun to burn a piano.
Because you also play ukulele in the group. Have you ever burnt a ukulele?
No.
Would you ever want to?
It's never crossed my mind.
It would go so fast.
That's very true. You'd have to have a
Very
huge
slow
pile.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, like, I don't know. I think pianos, when you burn a piano, it means something different from when you burn a ukulele.
Yeah.
Because pianos, I guess we just have so many because they used to make so many of them in our, like, there was a golden age of manufacturing where they made them like from 19-teens through the 30s, and there's just too many pianos.
Well, there's certainly an abundance of pianos too in Portland. But,
Everywhere.
Our friend,
sorry.
that's okay. Our friend Megan runs this really cool program in Portland called Piano Push Play, and she has pianos that are designed by artists. Sometimes bands will design them,
Okay.
and the pianos live outside all summer.
Okay, yeah.
And
They
so
have a
then you
couple of
can-
those in Spokane.
Yeah, so you can like play on them and things.
Yeah,
but
it is fun.
she was just saying she gets the old upright, like 1930s, 1940s pianos. Those are just like a dime a dozen.
There's so many.
People just give them away for free because they don't want them anymore,
Yeah.
or they're in just such states of disrepair.
And
but-
honestly, as somebody who works on the insides of them, there's just so many proprietary parts that haven't been manufactured in like over half a century, and they're not worth anything. The resale value is just nothing unless it's sentimental. It's
Yeah.
kind of hard to justify bringing back anything other than like some of the main brands that people keep on, like Steinway or Busendorfer.
One more thing about
Of course.
So the piano burn that we did was a collaboration with a friend of ours, and he had a music venue in the past that hasn't been active for several years. So we were looking for some alternative places to host shows. Sometimes playing in a venue, while it's great, it just has a lot of downsides. And so I think kind of in the last year, we've been looking for, and I've been hearing a lot of people in Portland talking about a desire to have other places to play aside from bars or venues. And so I think we're in that process of looking for other places where we can host shows and do something that is kind of momentous and an occasion for people. And that's kind of the inspiration behind the piano burns.
Everybody likes a fire.
Yeah, it is nice.
So in the last interview, we also talked a little bit about electronic music and MIDI and how you guys were like thinking about, you know, creating some sort of response to electronic music. And then you guys are also very minimalistic. So an artist that kind of came to mind that combines those two is Billie Eilish. What do you guys think of her? Have you listened to her before? What's your opinion?
I've listened to it a little bit, and yeah, it's. I think there's like a I mean, I'm getting pretty old, and so definitely like when I first heard it, I just heard pop music,
Okay.
and I heard like that this music is not for me.
Uh-huh.
But then I think unfortunately, that's kind of like an attitude that I adopt too easily sometimes. And so I definitely came back to it after I learned a little bit more about Billie Eilish. I thought it was just, I didn't know that they were like her and her brother were like collaborating in this really cool, like close way, which that really resonated with me quite a bit. And
I think her use of theme is interesting too. I think we were talking before the interview just about, I can't remember the name of the music video, but it's flashes or scenes that will come back based on the themes that are happening in the music, and the visual image will return. And I thought that was such an interesting way to create a video. Just most videos seem to have some sort of storyline. Some are more well thought out than others, but I thought that was a very creative way to visualize the music. And there's kind of an insanity to the music that she makes.
Yeah.
And the videos, I think, really, really show you that in a clear way. So, yeah. I'm curious. I think I need to do a little bit more listening and watching and kind of reflect on it a little bit more. But I think the music that she's making is very thought-provoking and very important for right now. It's a really good reflection of what's actually happening culturally. And, I mean, some of it kind of terrifies me. Really terrifies me. But I appreciate that she's out there making it. And yeah, I think it's worthwhile and important art to make.
yeah, Lisa and I teach kids and music and stuff like that, and it's kind of cool to see some of the first like offerings of that generation kind of being so challenging, which it's reassuring.
Well, it's interesting to think about a generation that has never not had a cell phone. And that's been really thought-provoking. Like, my brother and sister-in-law have 2 kids, and it's amazing to watch them. Like, they know how to turn on my brother's phone, and they know how to get to places. Like, I've gotten little messages from my niece where she is like drawing. I mean, she doesn't really know what she's doing, but she draws something and just sends it.
How old is she?
She's 4. I mean, this is when she was like 2.
Yeah.
You know, so I think I find the science behind technology really fascinating, and I do think that we don't really know what it's doing to people's brains and how that affects then the artistic output that comes from that. So yeah, I'm kind of wary of cell phones. Like, I have one and I use it, but
You're not on it 24/7.
No, but it's interesting to see how much of your life it owns.
Yeah.
So there's like a lot of conflict that I feel in terms of the artistic process relying so much on technology, but also kind of feeling averse to it at I don't know, like a moral ground. So I think, and to kind of bring this back around, like, I think the music that we make is attempting to be relevant in an analog way. And I mean, maybe that's a little bit of a I don't know. Anywho.
Whatever that means.
I think we try to make interesting sounds, and we don't necessarily go about it in the most efficient way or the most technologically savvy way. But I think the last couple years of making music has really made me wonder what all the technological influences are doing to the music that we're making, into our brains, and then also understanding that technology plays a very important and vital role in what we do, but also being aware of how it can be kind of a controlling force. So, yeah, it's a fascinating topic, and I feel like we're all kind of along for this ride and wondering where it's going.
Yeah. One day we'll figure it out, and either we'll be like, "Oh, this is cool," or "Oh no, this is really bad."
It'll be too late either way.
Yeah,
But that's
exactly.
fine. That's how it always works.
Yeah.
I mean,
So.
everybody has this kind of upheaval, at least in the past 100 years. We'll be fine.
We hope.
I mean, as fine as we were before. I don't think we were ever really that fine.
So is there anything else about Sam Adams, your group, that you want to mention before I let you go?
We're excited to tour more this year. We'd love to start working on a record too. We have so many songs. Yeah, it's just there's a lot of projects kind of on the checklist that we just need to like start checking things off. And it's really nice to kind of like be able to again like check off that single release and just realize that you've learned so much like just in that one little every little step is just a huge learning experience. It's very humbling and cool. Yeah.
Great. And where can the audience find you guys online?
Well, sama-dams.com is our website, but you can find us on Spotify, on Facebook, on Instagram, Bandcamp, YouTubes, all those platforms.
Awesome.
Deezer. I don't know.
LinkedIn?
No, we're not on LinkedIn.
Not that social media platform, but pretty
No.
much everything else. Well, thank you guys for chatting with me again. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to go down and click that like button. Also click that subscribe button. I do a ton of awesome videos with indie artists just like Sam Adams. And if you want to catch our first interview from a year ago at Modest Music Fest, I will also put that down below. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
I'm your chick.